Alright guys, welcome to this week's episode. Thank you for joining me here on the JGN Junior Golf Network, covering one of the best leagues in East Texas, Crown Colony PGA Junior League. Let's start in Tuesday's match. We had the Cyclones and the Roadrunners, and the Cyclones were just basically just way too much for the Roadrunners. So let's start off. We had Jacob, Daniel, and Damon taking on Dane and Sawyer. Dane and Sawyer, I will say, gave it the best match they can, but Jacob and Daniel and Damon were just a little bit too much for them. They got it 2-1 right there. Next match, we had Scarlett and Corbin taking on Faber and Ashlyn, and Scarlett and Corbin were just too much for them. They got it 3-0 right there. In our last match of the girls, LJ, Mallory, and Emerson taking on Skylar and Kyle, and it was just girls' power. They swept them. So, great playing by the Cyclones. We'll be back with Wednesday's match. All right, guys, here we are with a couple of the youngsters. We got Gibson, Graham, and Ryder. All right, guys. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to ask y'all some questions. What's your favorite part of practice?
Chipping.
Chipping?
My favorite part is learning how to play golf.
Okay. Graham?
I don't have a favorite part.
You don't have a favorite part?
I
Okay.
like it all.
All right, you like it all. All right. What is y'all's favorite part of match when we play our tournaments?
My favorite part is
Putting.
Okay, putting for Gibson all the way through.
Drives.
Drives for Graham. Ryder?
My favorite is playing golf.
Just playing golf in general. Okay. So what's our favorite club in the bag? Gibson, I guess you're going to say putter?
Iron.
Iron. Which iron?
6 iron.
6 iron. Graham? Driver?
7.
7. Okay. Ryder?
Driver.
Driver. Okay. What's your favorite hole y'all get to play?
4.
My
4.
favorite is 1 because that's my hole. I live on that hole.
Okay. Graham?
7.
7. Okay. All right. So what's our favorite food to eat on the golf course?
My favorite food. My favorite food is crackers that have peanut butter in them.
Okay.
Define what
Like a
you
snack
mean.
food.
Like,
Is
do you
that
get
water?
from the cart lady?
Yeah. What you get from the cart lady?
I don't get any food.
Okay. Graham?
Normally it's M&M's.
M&M's. Okay. Thank you for not being as complicated as Gibson. What's y'all's favorite drink?
My favorite drink is Powerade.
Shirley Temple.
Powerade. Shirley Temple. Graham?
Water.
Water. Got one healthy kid. All right. So who's our favorite golfer?
My
Phil
favorite,
Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Same as Ryder.
Same as Ryder. All right, guys. That's
The guy who suffered a tragic car accident.
the guy that covered the track car.
That's
All
Tiger
right,
Woods.
that is our interview for this week. All right, guys, let's jump into Wednesday's match. We had the Lumberjacks and the Crowns. The Lumberjacks kept on their winning ways. Pretty much a dominating performance. We had Jackson and the brothers Hunter and Logan taking on Jacob and Andrew. And the brothers and Jackson were started off on got off to a hot lead, but Jacob and Andrew did kind of come back to have it there at the end to get some points for the Crowns. Next up, we had for the Lumberjacks Colton, Bates, and Cash taking on McCann, Ryder, and JJ. Ryder, JJ, McCann were just, they played really solid all the way through, the way I'm seeing this right now. They were just way too much for them. They did half the first one, but they came back and got 2 solid points for the Crowns. In our following match, we had CJ and Miles taking on Griff and Terran, and Griff and Terran just ran away with this one. Real solid playing by them too. They had a lot of good shots that night. In our last match, we have the girls of Kaylin, Destiny, and Celeste taking on Gibson, Graham, and Gus. And again, it's just showing that these young girls coming out to play. You better watch out, boys. They had a clean sweep, 3-0 right there. So, big win for the Lumberjacks. We'll be back with Thursday's match. Alright guys, today here on our rules clip, we're going to talk about red hazard, yellow hazard, okay? So, we call these now penalty areas, okay? But they're painted two different ways, and I just kind of want to talk about the drops. If it's a yellow, okay, if we're hitting in a yellow penalty area, we always are going to, and this is just a simple rule of thumb, we're always going to drop back. So it's going to be more like stroking distance, okay? Now, with red, sometimes if I hit, let's say onto a green, or I've hit over and it bounces back in, I can always go to my last point entry, okay? All right, so there is a difference between yellow and red. Yellow, we're always going to stay back. Red, we're always going to see where our last spot where the ball went and cross that line. And then we're going to make our adjustments, okay? So that's a quick way. We're going to talk more about this next week, but just remember, real simple rules. Yellow, always back. Red, we're going to look about the last point we entered. All right, we'll see y'all next week. All right, guys, Thursday's match. This was prime time. This was probably the best match we had all week. It was the closest one. But it was the Express winning by 2 over the Panthers. Let's break it down. Let's do the battle of the girls. We had the juggernauts Delaney and Caroline taking on Mary Michael and upcoming Natalie. Delaney and Caroline took care of business in the first 2 matches, and Mary Michael and Natalie almost came close to getting a half in the third one, but just came up just short. But it was still good playing by them, but the juggernauts were just a little too much for them. Next up, we're going to go to Hollis and Rob taking on Chase, Bryn, and Steele. Hollis and Rob got up. They won the first match, but Chase, Bryn, and Steele took the second one, tying it up, but Hollis and Rob got an extra point right there. So they won 2-1 right there. We'll go into our next match. Layden, Millie, and Margaret, again the girls taking on the boys. Girls got off to a hot start and just kept on rolling. So I said it for the first 2 matches. I'm going to say it again. A lot of young girls, they're coming to play, and they're not afraid of those boys. So it was a great match. Now the match of the week. We had Parker, Giovanni, and Gunner taking on Dream Team Brett, Hayes, and Nicholas. And Parker, Giovanni, and Gunner got up quick and just kept it rolling. This was really a back and forth match, but there was a lot of great shots and putts. It went back and forth. It was fun to watch. They won the first. They actually swept it all the way through. They got 3-0. It did always come down to the third hole. There was no skipping holes here. So great match, fun to watch. Probably the most competitive match we had all week. All right, so that's 13U. We'll be right back with 17U. All right, guys, here's our episode about keeping up with a golf course. So, new little feature. I know we've talked about when we're supposed to exit and get back on the cart path when we're allowed to drive on the fairway, but you'll see a green stake now at the beginning of the fairways. That's where you can enter, okay? And red is the area where you got to exit, okay? So, green, you can go on. Red, we got to get off the golf course. So, you'll be seeing these on our par 4s and par 5s. This will help us with less traffic on the golf course and keeping our fairways in better shape. We'll see y'all next week. All right, 17 match. It was a good one. So our low scores of the week, I believe it was the girls, Victoria and Alex. They shot a 40 for 9 holes, tying Lucas and KJ also. So those were our 2 low scores for the 17U 40 score right there. So they're starting to get a little lower and lower, getting closer and closer to All-Stars. So it's great to see. We'll be right back with Spotlight. Alrighty, Spotlight time. So, upcoming player, I'm giving it to Hudson Harrell. Kid's really improved a lot here lately. Really starting to get him moving, hitting some good quality shots. Player of the week, I'm giving it to Jackson Haver. He's really coming into form, stepping up in a lot bigger matches, so I really like playing. And Legend Player of the Week, I'm giving it to Lucas Robinson. Lucas will be in high school next year. He's got a very good chance of making it varsity. Really putting in some good work. Really like to see how he finishes this summer. So, that's this week's episode. Remember, I can't do it without y'all. Please send me videos, photos. As I tell you all the time, moms, y'all take better photos than me, so please send them to me. I can't be out there to see everything. So send them to me, and we'll be back to preview next week's match.